there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Quantum Healers podcast on Antojai Quantum Healing. I am Master Antojai, and we have Master Miracle with us today. And we're doing a Noorah Code. Yeah, and we're doing a Noorah Code meditation. And before we get started, I have a bit of rape, and for those of you who don't know what rape is, it's shamanic snuff, and it's very good for amplifying intentions and like manifestations in general. So how it works is you just put it on your hand, you set an intention, and I want to set the intention that this rape is going to help us heal Mother Earth's consciousness. So I'm just going to do this quick little ceremony with it. So rape, can you please help amplify everyone who listens to this audio tape so that we can heal Mother Earth's chakra, root chakra, from the collective fear that people have of embracing themselves and embracing New Earth, to help them let go of any limiting patterns that steal their vitality, their fertility, and their general sense of creative force. And this rape is called the Goddess. I think it's only fair because in Hindu culture, the root chakra is tied to Shakti, one of the goddesses of creation. So you hold it up to your heart, you thank it with gratitude, you hold it up to your mind, you thank it with gratitude, and then you perform the ceremony for your yin, your left side. And then immediately, your yang, your right side. And since we are also healing Gaia, our mother, it is fair to call Gaia a goddess. And why wouldn't we be using the goddess rape for this? Alright. Everyone set the intention that we're in the same room right now, if you didn't already from the beginning, and now you're going to start feeling the rape hit ya. You might feel a little bit of stinging in your head area. That's normal. And most recently, I actually had one of my students from the alchemy course call me while he was on vacation, and he didn't know anything about the Noorah Codes. So he was actually hanging out in Mount Shasta, and he was like, hey, I just figured I'd be in Mount Shasta, and I really wanted to connect with the environment. And I was like, shut up, have you been doing the Noorah Codes? And he was like, no, what are those? And I was like, what? So it was like the synchronicity, and I explained it all to him, that the first Noorah Code is basically all about, the root chakra of the world and how it's in Mount Shasta. And he was just like, whoa, that's so crazy. Talk about synchronicity. And then we meditated. And when we meditated, it was interesting feeling it on the other side of the phone, because you can literally, if you go to Mount Shasta, you guys, if you live close by, go there and meditate with any of the Noorah Code meditations that we've done. And you're gonna feel it, the whole environment responds. It was so powerful that it was starting to heal me in a reverse loop through the phone, and it was like, whoa. And that's exactly what the whole entire Noorah Code is. So it's really cool to experience a different kind of healing. And some of you may have been following so far, and they're questioning why are the Noorah Codes so different than maybe other alchemy or Reiki or anything like that? Well, first of all, the Noorah Codes are not Reiki, and the Noorah Codes are technically not even light language. They are a language, but they're the language of Antojai. And if you want to consider Antojai light, you could, but you'll notice that Antojai, even though you could perceive it as light, is actually base laws that don't always correspond to light. And the Noorah Code is the language of Antojai, and then that power is directly funneled into a very specific vibration of light that is then creating a certain spectrum in the hologram that we see, which we call reality. So if everything in reality is light photons anyway. When we align ourselves with these Noorah codes, we're rearranging the light photons around us to start creating a higher reality. And depending on what it is that you're looking to even manifest, a certain Noorah code can help you do that. Now, regardless if you're doing the Noorah code for yourself, or you're doing it to heal the world, or you're doing it to heal someone else, there's always like a different perspective that you can use with that Noorah code to draw out a different effect. All right. And if you've taken my Antojai course, you'll learn really advanced concepts of those. For this Noorah code, we're keeping it safe for the public, so we're just going to be focusing on some key different manifestation techniques. So Micah, is there any like subject matter that you've been thinking about using with the Noorah codes, or anything like that, or anything that you've done lately with it?
So I've been using Light of Existence here recently, and I guess the way that I can explain I've been using it is like allowing it to show me the functionality, like how it likes to exist within itself. So like it's like I'm approaching a tree and I'm asking the tree, like, how do you operate? But I'm using this frequency for everything, for humans, for animals, for nature, for concepts, for greater understandings. Like I'm allowing things to show me how they exist, so I can then take what resonates and move forward with that. So that's probably the one that I've been using the most.
I've been using the Noorah code, the Light of Existence, to really like, there's days I wake up and I'm just like, man, I have so much I gotta do. Oh my God. And it's not really like an anxiety, but more so like, you better like start your day off running. And for those days, I'll turn on the Light of Existence, and I really notice that my energy kind of clears out and becomes a little bit more grounded, I guess. But it also shows me like why, like if you're running and you feel like you gotta get things done because of some sort of like perception of like that's related to fear or vitality or anything like that, it really just shows me how like it's been showing me a lot that like fear is so illusionary, and that fear is inherent to us because we're taught fear, not because we're really born with fear. Like we know, even when we're born as babies, we know how to swim, and we can be birthed underwater and then like start swimming like dolphins right from the get-go. But then we forget about it because our parents handicap us, and they start freaking out every time when we're babies to get close to water. And like when we get close to water, that water is dangerous. And then finally, when a child's ready to like be taught how to swim, the child has this natural fear of water when the child was always born knowing how to swim. And then it's weird how we take this time to teach someone how to swim when we never had to in the first place. So that whole concept of being fearful of water is man-made, literally. Even though, yeah, there's things in the water that, I mean, if you're out in the ocean, you want to be aware of. But natural everyday water fear of like being by a pool, is something that's been ingrained and taught to us. And it's been showing me a lot about all the things inside of me that are related to fear that were taught to me based out of fear. And it's cool. So that we're gonna be focusing on that. So that's the next thing that we're gonna do, okay? Everyone's connected. Take a deep breath. We're all gonna summon Noorah Code 1, Light of Existence. You're going to apply it at your root chakra. You're going to set the intention that right now you're sitting on Mount Shasta. Really make that real. Time and space are an illusion. So Mount Shasta is very much so right here, right now. And the first Noorah Code is connected technically to the first dimension. And we're going to set the intention that we're going to let the first dimension open up. The primordial energies. We're going to connect this to the core of the earth. And you're going to feel like maybe you're being drawn down into the earth. Your feet get heavier. Take another deep breath. And remember, from now on, if you have any stiffness in your body or any pains, you breathe it out with your breath. These are fears that are somewhat stuck inside of you. And while we focus in these areas, we can rewrite our body, because just like regular light language, the Noorah Codes can reprogram our DNA. Most importantly, though, is like it's not really programming the DNA that we need to focus on so much. We need to reprogram our spirit or our soul, right? From allowing our DNA to interpret things from the environment, and then that could create disease or pain. So Bruce Lipton, famous epigenetics researcher, tells us that the environment combines with soul, and then it trickles into our DNA. The DNA goes into our RNA. The RNA goes into our protein. And depending on how that all comes out is whether or not there's a distortion in our energy fields or in our light fields that create disease. So anything that we're dealing with, especially autoimmune disorders, for instance, if anyone has autoimmune disorder, autoimmune means self-destruct. And since we're not taking care of our environment, our internal environments would be dealing with something very similar: as above, so below, so within, so without. So this is why the Noorah Codes are so important, because for anyone who's dealing with an autoimmune disorder, and it doesn't matter what kind, that's stemming from the environment, a mixture of the environment and a mixture of something in your soul that is out of harmony, and then it creates that in your DNA. So you can easily reprogram that if you dedicate a good amount of effort to reprogramming the environment and reprogramming your soul. We're reverse engineering. And this is kind of like a social experiment too, you know, for everyone who's using it. Like we would love to hear how it's been affecting you, and like if you've seen any major shifts in your health. This is why we're also pushing it out there. What dawnings have come to you? Take a deep breath. Another deep breath. So now we're gonna let the first Noorah Code, Light of Existence, to step into the environment, not only in Mount Shasta, but the environment where our present body is found, your household, your city, in both locations. And we're going to start deleting anything that does not give you the highest vibrational light that is for your existence. All you have to do is treat it like an app and give into it. You're going to feel your energy expand, especially if we're all doing it as a group. You'll feel everyone else's energies in this meditation space, this astral lab, connect with us. you might see maps in your mind, like a radius of how much you're impacting. Take a deep breath. And it's interesting because as I raise my energy higher and higher, the heaters in my house are making a louder and louder noise. Allow your root chakra to expand like a rocket at the base of a ship. That it has to have all this power and momentum to take off the ship into deep space. Imagine the Noorah Code on your heart chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra as well. And Micah, whenever you want to chime in, you take it away.
Thank you. Allow your third eye to open and expand as well. Allow it to become one with your heart. Now allow this energy to move into your solar plexus. And allow that to also expand, as you did with your root chakra.
I want you to express gratitude. Start feeling gratitude for your existence. Start feeling gratitude for the existence of Mother Earth. Start feeling gratitude for the fact that your existence is being purified to the highest resonance of light. Really feel that. Really own that. Transmute that across every nucleus inside of your body, because the nucleus is also tied to the root chakra in every cell. So now we're diving deep into the cells. And when we apply light of existence to the nucleus of every cell, we allow our cells to reproduce. This helps us stay younger, healthier, more vital. It'll help us live longer. And while we do this to ourselves, we know that we're doing that to Mother Earth. And since we're doing it to Mother Earth and we're connected to the core of Earth, we're doing it to every root chakra that exists on our planet. You're allowing every person right now to release something negative. The biggest thing about this Noorah Code and any Noorah Code is understanding that you heal yourself and you heal the world at a more accelerated rate when you let go of the fact that, hey, this healing is going to all the good people of the world, or just my friends and my family. I'm sending this to every person on the planet. That's what each and every one of us is doing right now, regardless if that person cut you off this morning, or if you haven't talked to this person in 20 years because they did something negative, or that is perceived to be negative in your reality. By allowing yourself to just share this energy, you build positive karma. You heal yourself because then you're healing the cords that you may have tethering you and your existence, and fear and terror, lack of vitality, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. If you're holding on to resentment, that's in your root chakra. If you're holding on to rancid emotions, that's closely connected to your root chakra. If you're holding on to any anger or anything that's towards anyone that isn't light and love, that's all stopping your root chakra. That's all stopping your vitality. That's all creating cords that are keeping you stuck to karma. So yes, can the Noorah Code help you overcome karma? Totally. But you also have to be conscious of how to use the Noorah Code.
And be open and receptive to what it's showing you.
And no matter how hard it is, if it's hard for you to accept these things, hey, you're human. But you're also a star being. You're a being of light. If everything is waves of energy interacting with each other, creating another reality, well, how about you make better waves? And the only way you can be better at making waves that are positive for all of reality is by you saying that you're not going to be part of the problem that produces any negative vibes. This is why it's so heavily related to each other, the Noorah Codes, you and Mother Earth and the collective consciousness, because you are willingly saying that you're not going to hold on to any negative energy that then creates negative distortions in reality that then can be produced as, troublesome experiences, trauma, negative health. It's not about just the individual anymore. It's about the collective. When we change how everyone sees reality by changing how the resonance of Mother Earth works, we made a larger impact than ever before. This all came to me because I got tired of healing one person at a time. I didn't feel like I was making that big of an impact. And then I started channeling the Noorah Codes. That's why when we share these codes and we help other people understand these codes, we make an even bigger impact and we accelerate our vibration into New Earth. Deep breath. If you want to focus a little bit of the attention on yourself and healing yourself, well, all right. Now let's direct our perception with the Noorah Code. I want to know what's inside of me that is not in resonance with my highest root chakra, light. Deep breath. You might see a word. You might feel certain sensations in your body. I want you to see your root chakra for your body at the base of your spine. I want you to see the root chakra inside of each one of your cells. I want you to see the root chakra in every cell, every piece of matter that exists all around you. Connect with that, relax into that. You might see different shades of red, dark reds, light reds, really bright reds, reds that are so dark that they're almost black. You're going to super shock all of it. If you don't see the colors and you just see different forms of root chakras, you're going to just blast all the root chakras. And if you don't see anything, that's fine too. You know where your intention is going. And we're going to give all those pieces of matter and energy light of existence. If you're looking to improve your existence, don't just focus on healing yourself internally at your root chakra. Focus on correcting the frequency of light that is your existence. Light is what's creating the hologram. I want you to see an orb of light of existence now all around you and all around the globe, all around the sun, all around every root chakra of everything. You're going to feel how that goes to the core of Mother Earth, all around the core. Take a deep breath. You're going to see the Noorah Code extend all throughout the first dimension. take this second to love yourself, to love your existence, to love all of it. It's all one. You're going to feel gratitude for being able to rewrite your existence and the frequencies of light that create that existence. You're going to set one intention right now with one word for your existence that you want to really, really bring forward. That word can be anything from prosperity to love to happiness, health, whatever that word is for you. You're going to bring that into all of your existence. Focus on that word and then let that word travel into all those layers. And Master,
allow yourself to feel gratitude for this manifestation as well.
I was just gonna say that you recently said something in one of our Patreon classes that was really interesting. When you know that this is as sure as your breath, then you can move forward.
Yeah. We often forget how certain our breath is until it's not there anymore. And at that point, it's too late. But with time being an illusion, and you can bring your awareness to it in this now moment, and at that point, it becomes eternal.
It literally becomes the breath of life.
Creating harmony.
And this is how we're manifesting with the Noorah Code. Take a deep breath. And now we'll set one more parameter for our existence. And you might notice that when you set an intention, your energy gets really dense. You might feel pain in certain areas. Take another deep breath. And since light of existence is connected to the root chakra, it's also connected to the Kundalini. So now we're going to allow the Kundalini to summon itself from the base of our spine to the highest realms that exist within light of existence. Take a deep breath and surrender. And as you let this energy pick up, you should be feeling like a mini reaction happening inside of you. Because now we're connecting and summoning the Kundalini within the Noorah Code of every cell. The Kundalini of everything. Within everything, within Earth.
Allow your mind to show you where this Kundalini exists and the expansiveness that it truly is. If you feel any mental limitations, just breathe into them. Allow that breath to break that barrier.
And now we set one more intention, one more word. And then instantly come back to the room. Just be aware of the room. I don't want you to retract your energy. You're leaving. You just reconstructed reality. You might as well leave it in place, right? Doesn't make sense to do all that work and then turn it off. You're just becoming aware of now existing inside of your higher reality. How are you feeling, Micah?
So, you know how earlier we felt expansive? I feel that expansive, but I feel like there's like this little, like it's not even, I don't even want to call it like a barrier, but really just something that's like allowing all of my energy to kind of be reflected back immediately to me. So it's like expansive and reflective at the same time.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, because now like reality is pretty much you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I do feel that. I didn't really think about it that way, but yeah, that's exactly what I feel. Like you're more in control because you're touching everything.
Yeah, and like you can, it's like you're touching everything, but you can feel it all touching you too.
Yeah.
And it's like this really, it's like, yeah, it just kind of, it almost feels like paints mixing together.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was thinking about like, you know how when glitter collides and like stuff comes like different particles of glitter stick together.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, let us know how you felt about this meditation. As always, share, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next episode.